Let's talk Tanya for the 24th of Nisan. Today we are starting chapter 42 in Tanya. We finished talking about the fact that we need to have both ahava and yira, love for God and awe of God. We need to be both a servant of God and a child of God. And now in the upcoming chapters, we will be talking about how to go about attaining love for God and awe for God. But we will start with the yira, with the awe, because, as we said in the beginning of chapter 41, Yira is the reishis ha'avodah v'ikra v'sharsha. It is step number one in our service of God, so that will be the topic of conversation for the next chapter and a half. So how do we go about arriving at a reverence, a respect, and an awe for God? So actually it seems it's pretty simple. There is a verse that says, V'ata Yisrael ma Hashem Elokecha shoyel me'imach kiim liyiras Hashem, which translates as, this is Moshe speaking to the Jewish people, and Moshe is saying, what's God already asking of you? All he's asking of you is to fear him, which makes it sound as if the fear of God, arriving at Yiras Hashem, is not a big deal. The Talmud picks up on this, and the Talmud asks, Otu Yira Milsa Zutra Sehi? Are you implying that to arrive at a Yiras Hashem, at an awe of God, is a small thing? And the Talmud responds and says, yes, Legabi Moshe Milsa Zutra Sehi. For Moshe, it's not a big deal. For Moshe to have an awe of God is not a big deal. Now, the Alter Rebbe points out the obvious. How does that answer the question? Moshe is not speaking to himself. Moshe is speaking to all the Jewish people and saying, all that God is asking of you is to fear him, implying that it's a trifle. It's not a big deal. So for himself, maybe it wasn't a big deal, but we all know that for ourselves, it is a big deal. So what is the answer of the Talmud that for Moshe, it's not a big deal? How does that help us? So the Alter Rebbe explains that we need to understand what Moshe represents. We know that there are the 7 shepherds of Klal Yisrael, the 7 shepherds of our nation, one of whom was Moshe Rabbeinu, it's Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, Yosef, and David. Why are these 7 great tzaddikim called shepherds? Just like a shepherd feeds their flock, these shepherds also, they spiritually feed us. They feed us the spiritual energy that we need in order to serve God. But each one of us feeds us with a very specific type of energy. And the type of energy that Moshe feeds us with is das. What is das? This we discussed earlier on in Tanya, specifically in chapter 3. Das means connection. The ability to connect to something in our minds, to take an idea, not only to understand the idea, but to connect to it. And because every one of our souls is rooted also in the soul of Moshe Rabbeinu, so therefore every single one of us has this capacity for das, the capacity not only to understand God, but to actually to connect to God. This is further reinforced by the fact that there was one Moshe who lived some 3,300 years ago, but in every generation, there is a Moshe of the generation, and it is the job of the leader of the generation, the Moshe of the generation, to further feed us with das and give us the capacity to connect to that which we understand. So there is the Moshe Rabbeinu in whose souls, our souls are rooted. There is the Moshe Rabbeinu of every single generation, and obviously also there is the work that we must do in order to acquire das, the work which we'll be talking about in the coming segments of Let's Talk Tanya. And here's the point. Legabi Moshe milsa zuter sehi. Relative to Moshe, achieving Yiras Hashem, achieving an awe for God, is not a big deal. What does that mean in real language and practical talk? That means that if we can cultivate the das within us, if we can work on attaining das, then suddenly we will find out that having a Yiras Hashem, having an awe for Hashem, is really not so difficult at all. The question, though, is how do we go about attaining das? And that's a conversation that we will begin in tomorrow's Tanya.